The young hunter slowly knelt before the frightened girl. "It's all right," he said softly. "You're safe now." The young woman looked up
Easy.
with
I'm not here
exhausted
to hurt
eyes.
you.
Please,
Tears
don't
rolled
leave
down
me.
her cheeks as she
You're
whispered,
safe now.
I don't know where I am." Rowan carefully handed her his water flask.
Drink slowly.
She drank
you.
as if she hadn't
I
seen
thought I was
water
going to
in
die.
days.
No one deserves to be
Then
abandoned.
he gave her a piece of roasted meat. At first, she hesitated. She had never eaten food without silver plates, without royal chefs, without palace servants. But hunger defeated pride. She took a bite. To her surprise, it was the most delicious meal she had ever tasted. For the first time in days, she smiled.
It's not a royal feast,
Rowan smiled back.
but it'll keep you strong.
"My father
It's the
always
best meal
says
I've ever
food
had."
tastes better
Then
when you're
hunger
hungry."
really is the greatest cook.
She laughed. It was the first laugh the forest had heard from her. Rowan led her through winding trails until they arrived at a small wooden cabin hidden between towering trees. An elderly man stepped outside. His beard was gray. His hands were rough from years of farming. This was Rowan's father, Edgar. The old man immediately noticed the frightened stranger. "Who is she?" "I found her alone in the forest," Rowan replied. Edgar looked into the young woman's eyes. "You've been through a terrible ordeal. Our home is small, but you're welcome here." Princess Elena stared at the tiny cabin. There were no crystal chandeliers, no marble floors, no servants.
Only
Only
warmth,
warmth.
only kindness, only peace. Days turned into weeks. Rowan and his father searched for clues about where she had come from. Each evening they asked gently, "Can you remember your home? What city? What road? What mountain?" But every time, she shook her head. "I remember a beautiful palace. I remember my father, but I don't know how to find it." The forest had confused every direction in her mind. Meanwhile, life in the village slowly changed her. She learned to fetch water from the river. She planted vegetables beside Edgar. She cooked over an open fire. She gathered berries. She watched Rowan hunt, not for sport, but to feed the village. She had never worked so hard, yet she had never been happier. There were no royal rules, no bodyguards, no expectations, only freedom.
This is wonderful.
As months passed, something unexpected happened. Without realizing it, she fell in love.
Somewhere along the way.
Not because Rowan was handsome, although he certainly
Person who ever
was.
loved me, not because I'm a
She
princess,
loved him
but
because
I'm
he
me.
was honest, because he was brave, because he treated everyone with respect. Most importantly, he never asked who she was. To him, she was simply Elena. One evening, as they watched the sunset from a hilltop, Rowan finally spoke. "I don't know where your home is, but if you choose to stay here, I'll spend the rest of my life making sure you never feel alone again." Elena looked at him. Her heart raced. She gently held his hand. "I don't want this life to end." Rowan smiled. Neither did he. Several weeks later, everything changed. A traveling merchant stopped in the village carrying newspapers from the capital. Across the front page was a faded portrait. "Missing Princess Elena. Reward 1,000 chests of gold." Rowan froze. His hands began to shake. He looked from the newspaper to Elena. The same eyes, the same smile.
Elena stared at the portrait. Fragments of memory rushed back all at once. The palace, her father, the excursion, the broken bus, the butterfly. She collapsed to her knees. I remember. The next morning, Rowan and Edgar prepared a wagon.
Father,
Although their hearts were heavy,
I remember
they knew
everything.
what was right. They escorted Elena back to the capital. As the palace gates came into view, trumpets suddenly sounded. One guard recognized her instantly. The princess! Within seconds, the news spread across the kingdom. The missing princess had returned. King Aldric rushed out of the palace barefoot. He didn't care about royal dignity. He embraced his daughter with tears streaming down his face.
The entire
My
kingdom
child
celebrated.
I thought I had lost
Church
you
bells
forever.
rang. Fireworks lit the night sky. Music filled every street. For the first time in nearly a year, the kingdom rejoiced. But amid the celebration, the king finally noticed Rowan and Edgar standing quietly at the palace entrance. His expression changed. Who are they? Elena smiled. They saved my life. They gave me food. They gave me a home. They never asked for anything.
King Aldric nodded. Then they shall be rewarded. Servants carried out heavy chests overflowing with gold coins.
Take these treasures.
Rowan looked at the treasure,
You have earned them.
then gently shook his
Your
head.
Majesty.
I didn't save her for money. The king frowned. Everyone has a price. Rowan met the king's eyes. No, your majesty. Silence fell across the royal courtyard. Then Elena stepped forward.
I love Rowan.
She took Rowan's hand
want to
in
spend my
front of
life with him.
everyone. Gasps echoed through the crowd. I love him. The king's face turned pale. I love Rowan, and I want to spend my life with him. The king's voice thundered across the palace. Impossible. He is a hunter. He belongs to the forest. You are the future queen of this kingdom. You will marry a prince, not a commoner. Elena
Risked his life to
refused to
save
let
mine.
go of Rowan's hand. I may have been born a princess,
Loving her is my crime.
but
I will
he
accept
taught
your
me
judgment.
how to truly live. The king pointed toward the palace gates. Leave this place. I never want to see you again. Guards stepped forward. The courtyard fell silent. Rowan slowly turned to leave, refusing to fight the men who had raised their weapons against him. But before he crossed the palace gates, an old royal advisor stepped forward. His voice trembled as he addressed the king. Your Majesty, there is something you were never told about the young hunter. The king frowned. What do you mean? The old advisor looked directly at Rowan, then at the king. The truth about his family could change the future of this kingdom forever.